Have you ever noticed how quiet the forest gets at night? Or how sometimes the shadows move when the wind doesn't? Today, we'll uncover 7 terrifying cryptids that science can't explain, the kind that blur the line between myth and memory. Welcome to the world of living legends. The first creature might be the most famous of all, a giant said to stalk even the deepest wilderness of North America. Bigfoot. Also known as Sasquatch, it is described as a towering, ape-like being, covered in thick dark hair, with its eyes that glow red when caught in the light. Stories of this wild man stretch back to centuries. It was told by Native American tribes long before the internet. In 1958, a construction crew in California discovered massive footprints near their camp, each nearly 2 feet long. And then came 1967. The footage that changed everything was a shaky film of a huge, human-shaped figure walking calmly through a clearing. Some swore it was real, others said it was a man in a suit. As for witnesses, they often describe a foul stench, guttural growls, and trees snapped clean in half. Scientists call it hoax or bear, but believers say bears don't walk like that. Could Bigfoot be a surviving prehistoric ape, or something that doesn't want to be found? If Bigfoot reigns over the forests, then its frozen twin rules the mountains. The Yeti, or as explorers once called it, the abominable snowman, is said to wander the icy slopes of the Himalayas. It is similar in shape but ghostly white. It has lived in Sherpa legend for centuries, a guardian spirit of the mountain. In 1951, mountaineer Eric Shipton snapped a photo of enormous footprints 20,000 feet above sea level. And years later, in 1959, a Soviet expedition claimed they saw a giant figure moving through a blizzard before it disappeared into the snow. While Bigfoot hides among trees, the Yeti rules the silence of ice, which made skeptics say the tracks belong to rare Himalayan bears. Yet, when scientists tested hair samples said to be from the creature, the DNA didn't match any known animal or human. So, could Bigfoot and the Yeti be distant cousins? Divided by climate, but born from the same ancient bloodline? Both are said to watch from afar, leaving only footprint and fear. But what about the creatures we hear but never see? In 1997, deep in the Pacific Ocean, microphones picked up a sound so loud that it could be heard across 3,000 miles of water. The scientists called it the Bloop. It was unlike every other thing ever recorded, a low, organic moan, rising and fading as if something huge was moving beneath the waves. The sound came from near Point Nemo, the most remote place on Earth, a place so isolated that even ships rarely pass above it. At first, experts blamed the cracking Antarctic ice, but marine biologists noticed that the sound's frequency matched that of an animal's call, and some even compared it to a whale hundreds of times larger than a blue whale. Conspiracy theorists linked it to H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu, whose fictional tomb lies in that very region, and for years, scientists searched for another sound like it, but none ever appeared. So what was the Bloop? A living giant? Or the heartbeat of the deep itself? But then, in New Jersey, a different monster flies through the night. The locals call it the Jersey Devil. Its story begins in 1735, when a woman named Mother Leeds cursed her unborn child, and finally, when the baby was born, it wasn't human, as it grew wings, hooves, and a forked tail before screaming and flying up the chimney into a storm. And for centuries, the creature has terrorized the Pine Barrens, killing livestock, slamming on roofs, and leaving behind claw marks on walls. In 1909, hundreds of people across New Jersey reported sightings in a single week. Police fired at it, but nothing happened. Even schools closed, as people refused to go outside. Scientists explain it away as large birds or mass hysteria, but those who've heard it scream say it's something else entirely, half beast, half curse, and all nightmare. Some even claim its cry can make the air itself freeze. So what really lives in the Pine Barrens? A legend? Or a child of a curse that never died? Now let's travel far back from America's forests to the humid jungles of Madagascar. Here, locals whisper about the Kalanoro, a creature that is half human and half something else. It was described as small and hairy creature with long claws and glowing red eyes. The Kalanoro is said to emerge at night to steal food and sometimes also to kidnap children. The French explorer Étienne de Flacourt wrote about them as early as 1658, calling them little men who speak our language but vanish when they are chased. Modern villagers claim to hear an odd laughter echoing from the trees, followed by footprints, but it's only half the size of a man with 3 long toes. Some anthropologists think it could be a remnant of an ancient human species, which might be a link to our past that refused to disappear, and others believe it's a forest spirit, punishing those who disturb sacred land. Whatever the truth, one thing's certain: when you hear laughter in the jungle, it's already too late. From the jungle to the desert, the next creature lives where nothing should survive. The Mongolian death worm. It was said to dwell beneath the sands of the Gobi Desert. This blood-red worm is as thick as a man's arm and up to 2 feet long. Nomads claim it can spit acid strong enough to corrode metal and kill instantly with a burst of electricity. It's said to appear after heavy rainstorms, when the air grows still and the sand begins to pulse. In the 1920s, explorer Roy Chapman Andrews led an expedition to find it. They found no worm, but endless stories from those who swore they'd seen one slithering through the dunes. Even today, Mongolian herders warn travelers never to rest where the sand breathes. Scientists dismiss it as folklore, saying no creature could generate electricity or survive those conditions, yet reports of livestock found with melted bones and strange lightning-shaped burn marks in the sand keep the legend alive. So what's really under the sand? A myth, mistake, or a monster? And deep in the Louisiana bayou is another creature, the Honey Island swamp monster. First spotted in 1963 by a retired air traffic controller named Harlan Ford, it's described as a 7-foot-tall, gray-haired beast with webbed feet and glowing yellow eyes. He even captured strange 3-toed footprints pressed deep in the mud, prints that matched no known animal. When he died years later, reels of 8mm film were found among his belongings, showing a shadowy figure moving through the trees. Locals say it's a hybrid, born from a plane crash survivor and an unknown swamp creature, and others think it's a southern cousin of Bigfoot, adapted to life in water. Whatever it is, fishermen tell of ripples that move against the current and bait buckets vanishing overnight. Scientists say it's misidentified alligators or local hoaxes, yet the footprints keep reappearing as if something heavy walks upright through the marsh. And every so often, someone swears they've seen those glowing eyes watching. Maybe the Honey Island swamp monster isn't hiding. Maybe it's watching. From the icy peaks of the Himalayas to the swamps of Louisiana, one thing's certain: every corner of the earth holds a secret. Whether these creatures are myths, misidentifications, or something science has yet to discover, their stories remind us that the unknown is never far away. So tell me, which one do you believe is real? Let's see who's brave enough to find out.